Hi, today's topic is astrology and suicide. Which are the particular planetary position in the horoscope, which which is signature that this person can commit suicide. I have seen people with exalted Jupiter or Jupiter Swakhetri has committed suicide. Because Jupiter good means always we think that Jupiter is very good, Jupiter is very strong, means Jiva Karaka is very strong. So that's why the person, whatever happens to that person can hold himself, herself, and will live a life irrespective of whatever is happening to his her life. But it is not so. Jupiter exalted people or Jupiter Swakhetri people, they you cannot convince them to go any wrong way, neither you can uh, motivate them to have friendship with them. If you are doing anything wrong, they will not have even littlest of like conversation. Also they will avoid type of they will avoid conversation also with you if they have any idea that you are not doing you have done something wrong or something like that. So it makes them very lonely. It makes them very lonely. I have seen Jupiter exalted or Jupiter Swakhetri people also. When Jupiter is the Jivakaraka, we have to think that Jupiter exalted or Swakhetri means it's a very strong Jupiter. So a person, it will restrict the person, it will save the person from suicide. So what are the things? What are the planetary positions in in this field? So one is moon. Moon is the mental condition because you have to think, you have to feel mentally that much upset that you commit suicide. So you can have moon with Rahu, moon with Ketu. You can have moon in a Ketu nakshatra or Rahu nakshatra. You can have Kemram yoga. So the Ketu is sandwiched in between Pap Grahas, means one side Saturn, another side Rahu, one side Ketu, another side Mars, anything it can be. When the moon is sandwiched in between two Pap Graha. Or Kemram, I already told. It can be Kemram, it can be Rahu or Ketu or Mars, etc. with moon. So when the condition of moon, Ketu with moon, you are always upset. Most of the time you are upset. You are very sattvic. If you maintain puja part sattvikata, then only you feel a little bit better. Otherwise you are always upset. Rahu with moon, always you are very emotional and you expect a lot from others. And but others are not that. Whatever you are expecting, this person is very good. But that guy might be very bad actually. But you are expecting that everybody will be good and you are very affectionate, too much affectionate, emotional, and you don't have any idea about the next person. Next person can be really, really dirty and very bad. And once you come to know, you might feel like commit suicide. So the situation of moon. First is situation of moon. Now, if moon is with Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, Mars, maximum moon is with Mars is very risky. But moon, Mars, Rahu, even more risky. But if you have moon in one side and seventh from moon just opposite Saturn or Rahu Ketu is sitting, even then it can be. If Rahu is sitting with moon, another side it will be Ketu, so it's very disturbing. Or if Mars is sitting with moon and another side there is Saturn, any these kind of like situations. So moon is over emotional or depressed. So if your moon is good, whatever happens, nothing can demoralize you. But every person is not of same mental setup. Things can disturb you. Things can disturb you a lot and you can commit something. Although after committing suicide, people say that उसका दिमागी हालत ठीक नहीं था, but ऐसा नहीं होता है. If there is someone or other, at least one or two people are there to understand their trouble, whatever trouble they are, and listen to them and give them some suggestion and be with them, then it reduces. But situation might happen, like I have a suicide case at my place, not one, I think two suicide cases in my family. So my sister's suicide, it was pressurization from builders. So in my family, I think builders, impact of builders are very negative, because my father made house with huge mango tree, jamun tree, and all these things. And our idea of home was always like that. My idea of home was always like that. I hate to stay in apartment that I will open the door and the neighbor's door is also opening. I don't like it. I always like it that I am opening the door to a garden, and in the garden there are not the potted plants. I hate potted plants, but I don't have any chances. I have to keep. I don't like a dog chained in the balcony, but I have to do it. I love a garden, proper garden, not with potted plants, but I love a proper garden with big, huge trees, with fruiting trees, or harsingar kind of flowering trees, big tree with flowers, not big tree, but average kind of like shrub with flowers, or medicinal plants. And then fruit plants are mandatory in a house. It should have a terrace, it should have balconies, and dogs should not be tied. The area should be large enough that 2 3 dogs at least can play in the terrace and play in the garden. And the door should be locked. The outside collapsible gate or the main gate should be locked, so that when mm, people should ring the bell from the gate, you tie the tigers or you tie the animals, and then only you open. And not only like dogs. I In my own house, if I have freedom, I would have loved to have snake. I would have loved to have cow. My sasuma kept cow for some time, and I would have my dadi also kept cow, and poultry was there, and I would have loved to have as many as animals as possible. जितना बड़ा ground हो, जितना बड़ा area हो, उस हिसाब से उतना animals मैं रखना पसंद करती हूँ. And there should be servants to take care of animals only. ठीक है, घर का काम के लिए अलग, but specific servants will be there. Like my dadi had servants who takes care of only animals. This is my concept of house. But when my parents died, after that, the builders were pressurizing my sister like anything. They were chasing her, torturing. Like she is sleeping in the bedroom, they're peeping from the window and all sort of torture, whatever they can do. They are jumping on the like terrace to scare her till death. This kind. So I think when my parents were there, dogs were also there, but gradually the dogs became old or sick or something like that. Dogs died and parents also died, and it was very difficult for her, because I never wanted to sell the property. Once upon a time was there when she was willing to sell the property. But for me, I know that my husband has money. He has money, but he will never buy a house, or he's not that kind of a person to buy a house, to have a garden. My mother-in-law is like that, to keep a cow, to keep a garden, keep fruit trees, and all these things. My mother-in-law is of that kind, and I am also of that kind. So builders were pressurizing, because they will demolish the house and they will make flat, and they wanted to buy the property and all. They were keeping so much pressure. She was sick, always sick. But it was so much of pressure, she committed suicide. And she used to complain over phone, like in the mm, like the shade of the window. They used to jump on the shade of the window, and I did not believe that builders can be, are they animals? These kind of things. But when I reached there, I realized, because there are people who are educated enough to earn, and there are people who are not educated enough to earn, but they have this kind of skill to scare people, to torture people to sell their property. I have seen wherever I live, I'm not giving you my address, wherever I live, in that place also, just behind my house, there's a huge plot. And that plot, there were many like slum people. There was a slum, and they have given like some bottle of daru, uske sath some 20,000 rupees for one like hut. This way, they have taken snatched the property from those people. Whether those belong to those people or those people are living in the jungle, it does not matter to me. But builders, I have extreme negative feeling towards builders because I have never seen a good builder at all, except our own builder. The flat we live, the builder was very young, newly married and all. Somehow, when we talked to him and his father, he was really a gentleman, and whatever conversation and whatever was there, it was gentle kind. Means that rob and all. I don't like rough kind of boys. मुझे रफ लड़कियां पसंद है बट रफ बॉयज़ मुझे पसंद है. बॉयज़ मुझे पसंद है शिवा जैसा, बिल्कुल शांत. हाँ, तांडव करने की ज़रूरत है तो तांडव करना पड़ता है. दैट इज़ अ डिफरेंट इशू. शी कमिटेड सुइसाइड. If I think which kind of moon she had, she has an excellent moon. She had a moon with Jupiter in second place. She had moon with Jupiter in second place. That's why she was taking care of the property and the finance and all. But generally, moon of the people who commit suicide, they have very terrible moon. But there are people who has terrible moon, but they don't commit suicide. So the remedies are, it's very good to do yoga and meditation from childhood days. Whatever happens, like if only wrong things are happening to you, even then you will have that strength and stamina if you do meditate and healing. About healing I'll not tell because very few people will learn healing and continue into healing because it's very, they have very strict rules, like you have to not only be, being vegetarian, vegan hone se aur acha, and that too fast half of the day, like till 12 o'clock or something. Sometimes if your healing cases are there, then till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock you're fasting. So these kind of many various rules are there, and you have to meditate minimum for 2 hours. So many strict rules are there. So there might be, most of the people will not be able. Learning is very easy. 20,000 दे दो सीख लो, लेकिन 20,000 दे के सीखने से नहीं होता है ना. You have to follow the rules so that the healing should be done. And healing does not allow you to do any negative things. मेरे पास जितने भी स्टूडेंट आए बाद में वो तांत्रिक के पास जाना शुरू कर दिए क्योंकि उन्हें फटाफट रिजल्ट किस टाइप का चाहिए. फलाने को मेरे चाचा मर जाएंगे, उसके बाद मुझे प्रॉपर्टी मिलेगा, तो चाचा को कैसे मरवाया जाए. Healing does not do anything like that. I have students, very cheap kind, who came to me, learned healing. पूरा healing सीखने के बाद बोले कि मेरा ऐसा प्रॉब्लम है, चाचा मरेंगे तभी मुझे प्रॉपर्टी मिलेगा, तो उसके लिए क्या किया जाए. I just told you, just go out and never come here. So these kind of people are there. So इस टाइप के लोग अगर healing सीखे या कुछ भी सीखे, जो अच्छा सोच नहीं सकते हैं. Healing works only when your heart chakra is open. Heart chakra is open means you are good to everyone. जो अपने परिवार के लिए अच्छा नहीं हो सकता, वो हीलर होना तो बहुत दूर की बात है. दैट पर्सन इज नॉट इवन इक्विवेलेंट टू एन एनिमल, क्योंकि एनिमल भी दूसरों का बुरा ऐसे नहीं करता है. द ह्यूमन बीइंग हु कैन किल, हु कैन प्लान टू किल, या कब मरेंगे, तांत्रिक के पास जाएंगे तो मेरा चाचा जी मर जाएंगे उसके बाद मुझे प्रॉपर्टी मिलेगा, इस टाइप के लोग जो है वो जानवर कहलाने लायक भी नहीं होते हैं. क्योंकि जानवर को भी प्रोटेक्शन के लिए ही अटैक करता है, खाना भूख लगता है तभी अटैक करता है, अदरवाइज जानवर भी शांति से चैन से रहते हैं. ठीक है, तो वो ह्यूमन बीइंग जो ये सब करते हैं वो जानवर से भी नीचे हैं, वॉट एवर इट इज़. हाँ, मुझे तो और भी समझ में नहीं आएगा बिकॉज देयर आर पीपल सो ओके. आई डोंट वांट टू गो टू डिफरेंट टॉपिक, बट हु कमिट सुइसाइड. So your moon can be very bad, but you are not committing suicide because you might have a good sun, you might have a good Jupiter, you might have a very good Jupiter with very good moon, but you are committing suicide. Why? There are some other planets which are not good. So it is mainly it is moon and Mercury. Mercury, what is Mercury? Mercury is buddhi. Okay, if your Mercury is uh, debilitated, or Mercury debilitated people can be very good authors, but if your Mercury is debilitated, the first thought, this kind of dwindling thoughts will come to your mind. If your Mercury is very good, you think logically. And if your Mercury is debilitated, Mercury is in the house of Piscean. Piscean is very thoughtful, very generous, thoughtful. If a thoughtful, generous, philanthropic person is tortured by others, then if the person is uh, Mercury debilitated, means your thought always is philanthropic. Your thought is always generous. When you are philanthropic, generous, and everything, and people are not appreciating you but torturing you, so you might think that it's better to end the life, because if nobody is liking me, then I should end the life. But this is not the that is that's not the solution. Whether someone is liking you or not, that does not matter at all. If nobody likes you, even then it does not matter, because someone has created you, and he not only likes, God love all of us. Because I am making horoscope of someone who is in a very negative thought, that's why I came to this discussion. But I don't think that person can do uh, something so bad like that, because that person is having very good Jupiter, very good Saturn, means Swakhetri, or exalted Jupiter, Saturn, Moon, all these things are there. But he's Mars and Ketu conjunct. So, what is Mars Ketu conjunct? Mars Ketu conjunct is very horrible, like Sushant Singh Rajput. It can be suicide, but it can be he has not committed suicide. पैर टूटा हुआ नहीं रहता है सुसाइड करने से, एंड एवरी वन नोज दैट वो सीलिंग से लेके बेड तक का उसका हाइट भी नहीं होता, सुसाइड कैसे करेगा. इट वॉज अ मर्डर. बट मार्स एंड केतु is a very serious and bad conjunction which can give a very havoc kind of bad death. Not only death, it can be bad accident also. You can escape the accident also, like you have broken your legs and you are alive. That kind of things also can be possible. So after moon, number one moon, number two is Mercury debilitated, number three is Mars Ketu combination, or it can be Mars Rahu also. Mars Rahu is something like you are doing something good and you are trying your best to make people understand, and people are not understanding. They are humiliating you, humiliating you, humiliating you. A point reaches when you become very angry. Mars with Rahu, you become so angry that you cannot control. Like people are agonizing you for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Some sudden day you are angry. Within 15 minutes, you commit suicide. Like people are thinking you are sleeping in the room, sleeping in the room. Then when they open the door, break open the door, you're already dead. So, Mercury, Moon, Mars Ketu or Mars Rahu, these are the major things, and Sun also. If your Sun is debilitated all the time, whenever people are humiliating you, you feel humiliated. Sun is in good position. Sun in 10th, Sun Swakhetri, Sun exalted, Sun 10th position, Sun is strong. So दिग्बाला अगर है या स्वाखेत्री एक्साल्टेड है तो क्या होता है, योर सन इज स्ट्रॉन्ग, योर डिग्निटी, यू आर वेरी डिग्निफाइड. लोग आपको जूता चप्पल मारे तो भी आपको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, because dignity is something which comes from within. There are people who are never loved by family, who are never loved by in-laws, who are misunderstood, people are jealous towards them, friends, neighbors, family, in-laws, everybody is jealous towards them, everybody does not understand them. Whatever happens, sun is in good position. That person, irrespective of everybody hating, torturing them, irrespective whatever good things they are doing, they always feel dignified from inside. वो बाहर से आप कुछ भी कर दो उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि फ्रॉम विद इन दे फील डिग्निफाइड. अब सन डेबिलिटेटेड होने से क्या होता है, सोच लो क्लास टॉपर है, सोच लो ग्रेट डांसर है, वॉट एवर द पर्सन इज, बट सन इज डेबिलिटेटेड, उस इंसान को दुखी करना, दबाना आसान होता है. तो आई टोल्ड अबाउट मेनी कॉम्बिनेशन, बट देर आर पीपल हु आर हैविंग मार्स केतु और मार्स राहु. देर आर पीपल हु हैज़ केमरम योगा or like moon with Rahu Ketu and all these things, or Mercury debilitated and everything is wrong. We always say, na, if Jupiter is good, then Jupiter will pull you out. If Venus is good, it will give you second life. But there are people who are having Jupiter good, Venus good, but people tortured them so much that they committed suicide. So for everyone, one remedy I'll talk to you, because until and unless I see your own horoscope, it is not possible for me to tell you which particular kind of remedy will work for you. Okay, but in general, I can give one remedy, that is, don't commit suicide. Whoever hates you, whoever tortures you, love yourself. With the thought, it might be possible that your parents even don't like you. Does not matter. God has created your parents, God has created you also. If your parents does not understand you, does not love you, in the next life, they will be hated by their own parents. कौन जाने कि तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स नेक्स्ट लाइफ में तुम्हारे बच्चे होकर पैदा ना हो. होता है ऐसा. अगर तुम एज ए पेरेंट बच्चे को समझे नहीं हो, टॉर्चर किए हो, तो टॉर्चर किए हो, नेग्लेक्ट किए हो, इग्नोर किए हो, नेक्स्ट लाइफ में उसी का बच्चा होकर तुम्हें पैदा होना पड़ता है. एंड दैट सेम पर्सन विल टॉर्चर और इग्नोर, और क्योंकि उसका सोल का इम्प्रिंट रहता है. कहाँ प्लैनेट्स में रहता है, लाइफ में रहता है, पास्ट लाइफ का पूरा इम्प्रिंट रहता है प्रेजेंट लाइफ में. सो इसलिए सब कुछ खराब, बहुत सब कुछ खराब तो किसी का नहीं होता है. इफ़ आई हैव सीन जुपिटर गुड, वेनस गुड पीपल ऑल्सो कमिटेड सुइसाइड बिकॉज मर्करी वॉज नॉट गुड. जुपिटर, वेनस, मून, एवरीथिंग वॉज गुड, बट मर्करी वॉज नॉट गुड, और position of Rahu Ketu was difficult, whatever. But after having Jupiter or Venus debilitated also, people might not commit suicide. Demoralization, business fail हो गया, काम बंद हो गया, इनकम नहीं है, बहुत बेइज्जती है, जो भी पैसा दे रहे हैं वो बेइज्जत कर रहे हैं, सब कुछ के बावजूद भी there are so many people who does not commit suicide. For that you have to keep extreme faith in God, because if God did not want, I will not come to the earth. मैं अगर पैदा हुई हूँ तो भगवान चाहते थे और शायद बेइज्जत होने के लिए ही मुझे भेजे थे. But God is always there, hugging you, holding you tightly. You have to feel that. भगवान आपके पास हमेशा है, आपसे प्यार हमेशा करते हैं, वो आपको फील करना पड़ेगा. और वो जो चाचा जी कब मरेंगे करके वेट करते हैं प्रॉपर्टी के लिए, और मेरी इवन देयर आर पीपल जो माँ मरेगी तभी मुझे प्रॉपर्टी मिलेगा, ऐसा बात बोलते हैं. मतलब देयर आर सो लोली पीपल जिनका नीचे से ऊपर तक एक भी चक्र खुला हुआ नहीं है. ज़मीन के नीचे कुछ पाताल चक्र होता है, शायद वो एक्टिवेटेड है उनके लाइफ में. क्योंकि माँ मेरे साथ बुरी थी, माँ मेरे साथ बुरी थी तो भी मैं माँ के, आई कैन नॉट इमेजिन, माई मदर ऑलवेज लव्ड माई सिस्टर ओनली, बट आई कैन नॉट इमेजिन दैट आई विल नॉट लव माई मदर. ऐसा सिंगल डे भी नहीं गया है. हाँ, शी वॉज अ टॉपर, तो उसको ज़्यादा प्यार करते थे. मैं तो टॉप की यूनिवर्सिटी में जाके, क्लास टॉपर तो मैं नहीं थी, आई वॉज 3rd and 4th पोजिशन इन क्लास. इट इज़ ओके, वॉट एवर. You can meditate, you can have deep faith in God, you can meditate. If you meditate every day, कुछ भी और मत करो, do 15 minutes om chanting. That can do havoc change, that can bring havoc change in your life. क्या क्या चेंज हो सकता है वो आप जब तक नहीं करोगे तब तक नहीं होगा. कभी कभी होता है फुल फैमिली, one person is doing meditation, even then it will give good result to everyone, थोड़ा थोड़ा. But if everyone meditates at least for 15 minutes, so one person is meditating for 1 hour whole day every day, but other people they are also meditating for 15 minutes, half an hour, whenever they are free. पूरा उस परिवार को आप कुछ भी बुरा नहीं कर सकते. उस परिवार में आप जो भी बुरा करना चाहोगे, कुछ किसी का भी असर नहीं होता है. क्योंकि पता है मेडिटेशन क्यों करते हैं? मेडिटेशन कनेक्ट्स यू विद गॉड. गॉड के साथ आप कनेक्ट कर देते हैं. दैट कनेक्शन ऑलवेज मेक यू फील वर्थ. चाहे आप किसी को भी कन्विंस नहीं कर सकते हो, बट जब आप गॉड से कनेक्टेड होते हो तो आप फील करते हो कि आपका वर्थ क्या है. आपको समझ में आता है कि आप कौन सा काम करने के लिए आए हो. और कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं लेकिन हमारे आसपास के लोग लोली है, तो वो अच्छा काम उन्हें अच्छा नहीं लगता. So today I told about uh, the planetary position of suicide and the remedies also. Bye. Have a nice time. If you are in a very negative kind of mindset, please do meditate, do puja part and all, and keep deep faith in God that He has created you and He loves you a lot. दुनिया में कोई प्यार ना करे तो भी भगवान आपसे बहुत प्यार करते हैं. Bye. Have a nice time.